And joining me now, David Modesett. He is the president of Vega Energy. Thank you so much for taking the time. Tell me, what are your key takeaways from this ministerial gathering?
I thought it was a great gathering. The best thing for me actually was Prime Minister Modi's comments on Monday when he talked about how India is moving towards a gas-based economy. And for one of the most important leaders in the free world to articulate that so well. He's exceeding what the Europeans are doing, he's exceeding what the US is doing, and he's really setting a tone for where the world has got to go now. We have to have natural gas, and he's leading the way, and I think it's fantastic, and this conference confirmed that. These are things that have to occur, and he's very focused on that, and I hope there are a lot of other world leaders that will take their cue from him, Japan, Korea, the United States, England, everybody, that they will get behind his movement to make that happen.
Now, the International Energy Forum, together with the IGU, really facilitating this conference with the government of India, of course, too. How important is it that the dialogue mandate from the International Energy Forum is continued in a setting like this?
It's very important because people have to get together and talk about what needs to be done. This is the age of partnership. All of the big deals that are happening now are people working together, coming across lines that they didn't do before. And the consumers get together, and the producers get together, and the utilities in the United States are working with the utilities in India. And so you have to have forums like this where you can articulate and get to know each other and then really develop a relationship to find out what has to happen in the real world. What are the things that got to get done now? What are the policy decisions that will help ease the way? These are huge billion-dollar investments. So these things are indispensable.
What would you say to the policymakers in terms of particularly facilitating investment? This is something that's desperately needed right across the industry too. But again, the policymakers probably need to be paying a bit more attention to what the key players are doing in the industry.
If you look at the United States, what was guaranteed in the United States was that the base infrastructure cost was recovered at a reasonable rate of return. So all of the infrastructure, basically, if you think about it, the highways for natural gas were built. And so the market could respond and the producers could respond. The same thing has to happen on a global basis. There has to be recovery of those basic costs so that if somebody wants to build a power plant in Delhi to clean up the air, they're able to do it and able to access energy in a free market sort of way. But you're not going to build the infrastructure unless you're guaranteed your cost recovery. It's a fundamental part of the way the system works, and it's been kind of ignored on a global basis. And as a matter of fact, there are a lot of people in the world that are trying to repress that. So that has to be encouraged. It's fundamental to future success.
And again, that probably comes down to the producer-consumer dialogue and maybe educating the consumer a little bit more about what keeps the lights on, I suppose.
That's exactly right. That's where our food comes from. It's where our medicine comes from. We cannot live without natural gas. If the wind doesn't blow or the sun doesn't shine, we're okay. You turn off natural gas for 2 hours in the United States and we go to blackouts. You have to have it. It's fundamental to what we do. So it's a very exciting time, and I really felt like there was some momentum coming out of this meeting to ask the hard questions. Tell us how you're going to do it without natural gas. Put the policies in place so that we can do it now, because there are 400 million people in India right now that need the help. They need it today. They need the inexpensive energy. We have it. We just have to put the policies in place to make it happen.
Now tell me just a little bit about some of the great work that Vega Energy is doing.
Well, we're in the midstream logistics business in the United States. We have, in conjunction with our partners, Washington Gas Light, we have a long-term deal with GAIL. We provide them gas for 20 years, about 2.5 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. If 5 years ago somebody had said that Washington Gas Light and GAIL would be joined in a joint venture, they couldn't have even made the story up. We're building 4 different pipelines in the United States, about $6 billion worth of infrastructure to support both power development and repurposing of old infrastructure, but also to support LNG export, because it's the right thing to do for the world, for the economics, and for global prosperity. It has to happen. So we're happy to be involved in our own little way in all of that. And the GAIL people are wonderful hosts and also great people to be in business with for 20 years. We're looking forward to it.
Now, and just finally, when we look at the development of gas, we've seen some challenges along the way here, probably oversupply of gas maybe at the moment, but again, when we look long term, what are the big opportunities for gas?
I mean, the shale boom is unprecedented, right? We can produce gas in the United States at 10, 20 BCF more than we're producing today, 100 BCF a day, and we can make money at $2.50 or $3.50 for many, many years to come. Let us build the infrastructure, and we will supply the world with natural gas, and that will drive demand growth. It will help the Middle East. It will help Africa, it will help all sorts of other gas-producing countries. The United States can be a leader on the global stage. This isn't something we keep for ourselves, it's something that we share with the world. So that's the most exciting thing about this, is it is now really and truly a global gas market. We have meetings all around the world, and if you don't think it's not a global gas market, you're not paying attention. And that's another great thing about this forum of getting everybody together, because you look around and it's a global marketplace.